Hello everyone, we'll talk about tritone substitutions today. First, we're going to learn what is a tritone. It's an interval. We're going to see how you measure it up. Then we will learn how to utilize this information to use tritone as a substitute chord for a dominant seventh. Let's take a simple short example, like just G7 dominant chord, okay? Its chord tones are G, B, D, and F. A tritone is nothing but an interval. So when we say tritone substitution, we mean another chord. The root of the chord is tritone above. So if we go up 3 whole tone steps from G, we reach C sharp. However, we will name this note as D flat because it goes as flat 5 for substitution scales. So we'll get to that later. So flat 5 is D flat. So fifth of G chord is D and flat 5 of G chord is D flat. That's why we name tritone substitution root as D flat. So what do we mean by tritone substitution? To substitute a G7 chord, we can use D flat 7th chord. Why? Let's take a closer look at the chord tones, okay? The third of G7 is a B, which is the same as the 7th of the D flat chord. 7th of D flat 7th chord is a C flat, which is the same as B, right? So third of G7 is the 7th of D flat 7th chord. And by the same token, if you look at the third of D flat 7, which is F, is the 7th of G7 chord. So they're like third and 7th is reversed, but they're using the same notes as third and 7th. And third and 7th of the chords are the most important ones. They are usually the ones that does the cadence resolving to the root chord. I mean, if you take G7 for instance, G7 to C major 7, the most important resolution happens between B to C and F to E. And B is the third, F is the 7th. So third and 7th is very important chord tones. Okay, after this short theory, let's see some examples. What if we use D flat 7th as a substitute of G7? Let's take a look at this example line, okay? Alright, our example uses regular chord tones until the second half of the second bar. After starting going down in mixolydian scale, it switches to D flat Lydian flat 7th scale, or G altered scale, or A flat melodic minor scale. They're all the same scales. And it sounds different, but it gives the same resolution effect. G7 to C major 7th. If you think about D flat 7th to C major 7th, the 7th of D flat 7 chord is B or C flat, and the third of the D flat 7 chord is F. So F goes to E and B goes to C, just like on the G7 scale. So it gives you the same resolution sound, okay? Let's hear another example. All right, here we go. This is a very similar example to the first one. However, this time it uses A flat minor 7 instead of D flat 7. So you can substitute D minor 7 to G7 chord progression with A flat minor 7 to D flat 7 chord progression, okay? I'm using parts of main and substitute chords to make up a line, okay? However, you can completely substitute mixolydian with A flat melodic minor scale or G altered scaled, or D flat Lydian flat 7 scale. They all use the same notes with different starting notes, just like I mentioned before. Okay, let's hear another example that uses more substitute notes. Okay, we can hear a complete 2/5 of a substitute chord It's A flat minor 7 to D flat 7 here. Second half of D minor 7 bar will substitute with A flat minor 7th, and the whole bar of G7 will substitute with A flat minor to D flat 7 chord progression, and it shows in our line, okay? As you can see, it sounds a bit outside. Substitutions are part of playing outside, and we're going to talk about this later. Okay, let's hear another example. So in this example, I still use a small portion of the whole line with the substitute chords. You can, adjust the dosage of this by yourself. It's a personal taste. I just wanted to show you it's possible to replace the whole thing with the substitute chords or replace parts of it with the substitute chords. And that makes a big difference. And where you apply that makes also another difference. Okay. So to close our video today, I'm going to play you one more example. Okay. And but if you want more examples of this, you can always download Jazz a Minute iOS application. Okay, Jazz a Minute application has a lot of examples. It also has backing tracks. To study these lines, I would recommend using metronome first until you feel comfortable, okay? After you feel comfortable and you own the rhythm, then you can use backing tracks. But if you already have great rhythm and great sense of pulse, then using backing tracks is okay. But if your rhythm is floating and you use backing tracks, it's harder for you to determine where the beat is. So a metronome clicking on 2 and 4 is essential, okay? It has to be like 1 click, 3 click, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. It has to be like that. My teacher, Peter Bernstein, used to tell me metronome should be a friend. It's a friendly sound. It's supporting our lines. Don't let it become your enemy, reminding you where the beat is all the time. That is the worst. So be friends with your metronome and always tries to practice with a metronome. Clicking on 2 and 4. That's essential, okay? All right, let's hear our last line. Okay, great. So what did we do today? We learned tritone substitutions. Okay, and the video is called Substitutions Part 1 because I'm gonna talk about 3 more, actually 2 more different substitutions. And our next subject is going to be backdoor dominance substitutions. Okay, and we'll take it from there. Have a great day, everyone.